beautiful people. So today I'm going to finally get around to doing my foundation routine. I've been putting it off because there was a lot of traveling, as you can tell. Purple background is back, which means I am back in Austin. This works out perfectly though because, again, I'm running late as per usual. This is usually the makeup look that I do when I'm running late just because, well, the foundation is always the same, the foundation routine. But I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all as well, like, what my everyday makeup looks like. If you want to know how I fake flawless skin and a healthy night's rest, keep watching. Oh, my hair's wet because I just showered, so let's pretend it doesn't look like that. So I had run out of my Tatcha primer, which, let me tell you, I know that, like, a lot of, like, makeup people are like, primers are the best. Yes, they do. My hair stuck in my earring. Primers are amazing, but I never really see like an absolute difference. I know. But I got this for Christmas. The Fenty one. This is the Fenty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Primer. I was a skeptic. I didn't think it would really work. Like, I was like, no. But I was like, I'm gonna try it. Wow. I always get a textured look right here because this is where like all my pores are like huge. And this kind of just, like, it's so good. Anyway, so I'm going to start off with this. And I do 2 pumps of this because I got a big face. It's also a little, like, sticky, which is great because then your foundation will really stick to it. It just, like, it creates a really good surface for your foundation. I feel like the Tatcha one, at least on my face, for some reason, it wasn't like that. It was more hydrating than anything. I already have a pretty oily face, and I did notice that this one like really was good with my T-zone area. When I would like go like this, half my face wouldn't come off, which was great. The foundation that I've been using is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid foundation. This is the one. Here's the thing, I don't break out much, which I know, like, I'm not complaining. I love that my skin is like that. When I do break out, it is pretty ugly, but it's not like horrible. And so I used to have scars all up in here because they do tend to be like pretty painful, like breakouts. But I do like the look of a high coverage foundation. Even when my skin is having a good day, I love the look of a flawless face. So this is definitely that. It is so good at covering everything up. Yes. So usually I do about 3 pumps of this, which I know is a lot, but like I told y'all, like that's the look that I like. Plus, this beauty blender does soak up a good amount too. You have to keep that into consideration. So before this one, I was using I don't know if I brought it, the Boing concealer, which is really great, except it is a lot more drying in my opinion. Like, I could see, like, I don't know, what would you consider texture under my eyes? I don't know. And it also wasn't as light as I wanted it to be, which I could have just gone a shade lighter, but then it kind of gave me more of like a pinker vibe. So I went to Sephora, and the guy that was there completely brainwashed me. He was like, oh, you should try this, you should try that. And I was like,
oh yes, please, I need all of this.
So he told me about the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. This is amazing. Y'all are gonna freak out when y'all see how much concealer I put on, but keep in consideration, keep in mind that I have insomnia. I do not sleep as much as I should, and so my under eyes are really bad. For Thanksgiving, I went to my family's house, like, I guess my extended family. I didn't wear any makeup because I just didn't feel like it, and my dad was like trying to convince me that like I still looked good and stuff, and I know he was being a good dad. And like, he was like, you look so good, don't worry, like, you don't always need all that makeup on your face. And I was like, yeah. Well, then I walk in and my aunt goes, did you just wake up? It was 12 o'clock. I've been up since 7:30. I just look really tired. So then I go and use my Fenty Beauty, like, what is this, like, it's in the color banana, but it's the baking powder basically. If I'm really in a rush, I'll skip this step, but you gotta make sure there's no creasing. So now that I am baking, I am it's all over my jeans. Okay. Now, this is another amazing thing that I got for Christmas that I was also a skeptic about. The MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. Let me tell you. So I use my Morphe M421, and I did notice that it just looked a lot more blended when I used this, and it stayed on all day. It was really amazing. I kind of just put it like all over, even in this little like crease area. Now, what is this? My inner corner. It just looks a lot brighter. Also, yes, I have like eyeliner on from last night. I really try to take everything off, and somehow like it stays on. I don't know. I don't even think I wore eyeliner. I feel like since it is so, like, it's creamy but dry. Does that make sense? I feel like that also helps cover up my eczema, because I get pretty bad eczema up here. Usually if I'm really in a rush, I'll just use my contour shade as my eyeshadow just because it's the same color, so it's nice and natural. I use this brush. It's huge and fluffy, and this is the M505 from Morphe. So then I go and use Diet Root Beer, sorry, and I just kind of blend that in as best as I can. It just blends so much nicer. I was in desperate need of a new primer because like mine was really old. So I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera, and then I'll come back once I'm ready to remove my baking powder. So now I have my brows done, and usually at this point I will use a fluffy brush to just take off all my baking powder. Ew. So this is my Chanel powder brush. I usually use this one for the next step, this brush, but I started using a Morphe one as well. So I'm going to try that one again, but usually I use this one. I used the Morphe M444. So this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation and start like basically stippling it on, even though this is not a stipple brush. When I was at Sephora, the lady had told me, like, if you really want to take it to the next level, you can use both. This was a big game changer. It looks way nicer, and it also, I feel like, lasts a lot longer, at least in my, because you're like, it's like double the foundation and it's like double the coverage. So if you have a lot of like trouble skin, I feel like this would work pretty nicely. So then after that is when I go in with the bronzer, the contour, the blush. So I usually go in with this like Face Secrets powder brush. It's like a really bad brush, but I just, whatever. And I use my MAC, it's called the Next to Nothing bronzing powder. It's a pretty like fluffy brush, so that it's kind of like light. This powder is definitely buildable, and you really want to make sure that you do add some sort of color like this to your face, because basically what foundation does is it takes your color and it makes your whole face that color, obviously. But like if you really think about it, that's giving just one dimension to your face. So if you put a little bit of bronzer and blush, it'll bring back some of that dimension, so you won't basically look like flat or sick. And then I do a little tiny bit, I just squeeze it and do a little bit on my nose. And then a little bit down here, just with whatever's left over. I use this brush. I think I got this like at Dollar General, y'all. It's a blush brush. Doesn't even say where it's from. Oh, it's RTE. I'll use this, and I will usually do like these two. So this one is they're both Milani. This one is the Baked Bronzer in Glow. I started using it after I heard Shay Mitchell uses it, but it's really pretty. And I feel like it just brings back more of like a, you know, makes me look bronzy. But then I use this blush, and this blush is very buildable, but it starts off, for my taste at least, it starts off pretty light. And a little bit on my nose, because I feel like that just kind of like, I don't know, that makes you look, I feel like, a little younger. Also, don't pack it onto your nose, because then you just look sickly. Ugh, here's my issue. Usually I will just pack on mascara and call it a day, but as you know, I had fake eyelashes for a pretty long time, or lash extension, sorry. And so, yeah, a video will be coming up on that because I asked you guys on Instagram if y'all would like to see it. The majority of y'all said yes, so I have these little stubs right now. My lashes are usually pretty long, and like I don't have the lash extensions anymore, and they kind of affected my natural lashes. So until they officially recuperate, I am using these. These are the Ella Lily lashes, and they're the 3D mink ones. But yeah, anyways, I'll be right back. Back. So, let me tell you, I've been doing makeup for a really long time, and lashes have never been my strong point, so that's why I just never like did it. But you know, with this whole recovery issue, we're doing it. I just went ahead and did highlight a little bit, and I used the Jouer highlighter in Rose Quartz, which Sephora is actually having for a limited time, I think, in stores. And then I went back with the Milani blush, and this is in Luminoso, Matte Honeylove. This is amazing. Like, look at how pretty that is. Okay, so anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this helps you if you're looking for a foundation that you would like to use. I think there's a bunch of amazing foundations out there, and there's just like, it has to be like a good group together, and I figured out that those three group really well. So the Fenty Beauty, the MAC Studio Fix Fluid foundation, and then the concealer in the Born This Way concealer from Too Faced, and the Studio Fix MAC thing, MAC Studio Fix MAC powder. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. I will be having a like pros versus cons of lash extensions, so that you know what you're getting into if you're considering them. I will let y'all know what I think about those in the hopefully next video. Hopefully. But anyways, I'll see y'all later. Bye!